We're here with Washington State women's basketball head coach Kamie Etheridge. Coach, we're going to have an opening statement from you, a little bit about just kind of talk a little bit about the road trip that you guys had, the first 2-0 road trip that your team's experienced since you've been here in the Pac-12 as the head coach, and then also talk a little bit how you guys are preparing for Arizona. Then after that, please raise your hands and we'll get to your questions afterwards.
Well, obviously, it's hard to even believe it was just a few days ago we were in Utah and Colorado, but clearly excited and thrilled about going on the road, taking this young team on the road and having a little bit of success. And two hard-fought games, two different games, had to manage a big lead at Utah and then hang on at the end. And then, just not quite pulling away from Colorado, but seemed comfortable for most of the game. So just great opportunities for our young team to gain experience, to see how teams are going to try to guard us and what they're going to do to keep us from scoring. But there are a lot of positives in those two games. Scoring that many points at Utah was huge. And obviously just the bigness of winning two games on the road for the first time in a long time in the history of our program. So a lot of things we're excited about. As soon as you get excited about something, then you get a disappointment with Arizona State canceling and just the reality of that. But if we just move ahead, don't get too bothered by what you can't control. Right now we get Arizona. I don't know. Are they like top 10, top seventh team in the country coming in here? So excited about that, changing our focus on that and seeing what we can do to compete with a great program like Arizona.
It's another week and another Freshman of the Week honor for Charlie Sledger-Walker. She had a really fantastic weekend up in the mountains. She had 23 points against Utah. Followed that up with her first career double-double with a 16-point, 10-assist performance at Colorado. Just talk. I know you talk about her a whole bunch, but just what else can you just say a little bit just about her and just this kind of stretch that she's had here, winning the award 3 times in the last 4 weeks?
Well, again, I think I've probably talked about her skill set, which I continue to be amazed with. Again, her knowledge of the game, her understanding of the game. She has the athleticism to play at a really high level. She's no longer a surprise to the league. And yet it's really hard for people to shut her down if that's a thing that people are trying to do. So I'm excited for her just to have this kind of success. But I also just love her demeanor and her makeup and who she is as a person and who she is as a teammate and who she is as a competitor. It's, again, I always say it, she's not braggadocious. She's not, talking trash. She's just a really great competitor, a really awesome teammate, and smart and inquisitive and wants to be coached and is probably studying the Arizona Scout right now just because she wants to be prepared. So, there's not very many bad things I can say about her. And I love the success that she's having because I think it's really well deserved.
Another player who picked up a double-double in the game at Colorado was Ula Motuga. She had a huge day on the glass, picked up 15 rebounds, career high, scored, I believe it was 11 points to pick up her first career double-double. She's been on a roll offensively here. She's got an extended double-digit scoring streak. Just talk about her game a little bit, how she's just been able to develop from her sophomore to junior year to just kind of play this bigger role for you this year.
Yeah, I think it's been a mental growth more than anything. I mean, I think she's mentally, she's decided that she can affect the game. I think she gave in probably in years past, and that's not to her. That's nothing on that. It's just she probably wasn't ready for Pac-12 level. She got thrown to the wolves. We didn't have a great, team to throw any shade her way. She just got thrown into stuff that she wasn't quite ready for mentally or physically. She's had 2 years of living through, kind of some beat downs and she's, I think, again, it's more of a transformation mentally and competitively, like who she wants to be on and off the court, who she wants to be as a teammate, and has now gained the confidence that she can create an advantage a lot of times on the court and knows how to do that, whether that's trail and make shots, threes from people sagging off of her, or put herself in pick and rolls and create opportunities, or go in and post an undersized person or someone that can't guard her on the block. So she's just really grown in how she can contribute, and understands that we need her to do those things and be more aggressive. So I love her transformation. And again, I have a lot of confidence in it, because I think it's so much more mental, and competitively, she's on edge and wants to be great and shows up in those areas. So it's translating into the court and onto the court, and who she's going against.
Rob Jesselson, go ahead, KHQ.
Hi, Coach. What have you thought of Bella Markatete and her performance so far here in her sophomore season?
Yeah, I've loved it. I mean, I think she's had a little bit of an inconsistent, maybe minutes played, but when I look at her stats right now, I think she's playing about 20 minutes in the game. We made a comment after the last game, Colorado. I think she played 21 minutes, had maybe 9 points and eight boards in half a game. And I, again, sometimes you can get caught off and go and be underwhelmed by that kind of performance, but those are great numbers for a player, not to mention what she's doing defensively for us and blocking shots and being a little bit of a presence at the rim. So I'm really encouraged by that. If we could get those kinds of numbers, 9 points, 10 points, 8 rebounds in 20 minutes. And obviously if her minutes go up, hopefully those numbers tick up as well. But I love that she's, again, where her biggest growth is that she shows up every single day in practice and says she wants to be good and wants to be pushed to be good. And so I think she's gaining more confidence in her offensive ability. I think you've seen less turnovers, or, better. We need, that's the growth of better decision-making in when she should try to make a move and when she needs to, do some in and out passes to shooters on the perimeter. But again, for a sophomore who's not played unbelievable amounts of minutes or at this level of basketball, I think she's grown so much. And the great news for us is she's probably got 2 more gears in her. She's going to get a lot better as she gets more experience.
And what about Bella as a person? Her road to Pullman has been a quick one, but also, I guess, a long one as well, being the first Rwandan-born player to play in the NCAA. And she really hasn't been playing basketball for that long either. So what are your thoughts on Bella just as a person and her road to WSU?
Yeah, wow, what a great question. And I appreciate you asking that. She was the first recruit that we knew of that the previous staff had offered. And obviously we found our way over in Post Falls, Idaho, to watch her and got her on campus early. And her parents here in the States, Kim and Barry, they were awesome to bring her over and let us get to know her. Bella is a breath of fresh air. She's got a great personality. She has that ability to light up the room with the comment, or laugh at herself, or laugh with everyone laughing at her, or whatever that might be. Again, a real lively personality. She also has a little bit of toddler in her. She can carry some things too far, and we need her to focus in on things, and she's still very playful. But I'm not bothered by that. And in fact, I think it's really necessary on a team to have a lot of different personalities. And I'm so grateful that she is like that, and she is playful, and she brings that spirit about her. But when it gets down to it, she comes from a private high school basketball she was 1.5 feet taller than everybody else around her. And she got triple teamed by, 3 5'8" players. And so her experience as a basketball player is really still very young. She's grown so much in the fact that, she came in here pretty not great fundamentals, but she's committed to getting better at those things. And again, she doesn't just want to play at Washington State and be a coup, although she's going to stay here for a long time. She wants to be a professional basketball player. So it's going to be fun to watch her develop all the way from when she came to us from Post Falls, and not only here, but maybe even on our national team. I know Rwanda wants her back in the summers and things like that. So we're going to get to experience Bella in a lot of different capacities. And again, I'm all for it and excited for her and her future.
All right. Kim Doss. Go ahead, Kim.
Kamie, speaking of the defense of Bella, when I looked at your stats for the team, that's what impressed me the most this year compared to previous is your defense. What are you seeing different on that side of the ball?
Right. Well, honestly, I don't think that we have totally different schemes. We have really good physical, I think across the board, more physical guard defenders this year, and obviously more depth behind them. But Crystal and Charlize are real, and even Yo, all three of them are very, they're kind of stronger, maybe a little bit thicker, but they don't, because of that, we don't give away any speed or athleticism or lateral movement. They're all really quick in those areas, and they're just really committed to guarding the ball. And I think Ula's more committed. I think Bella's more fundamental and disciplined in our defensive schemes. So we just have a lot of versatility with our guard play because, primarily we're better on-ball defenders than we've been in the past. And where we might have had one player that was a really good on-ball defender in the past, now we're kind of across the board much better at it. We got really high IQ players that, pick and choose how to hassle in help defense. It's not like you sit there, as a coach, that's what you want. You want real instinctive players around on the court that they make great decisions and they've got high IQ and they understand when they can go trap a post or rake in and get a steal from the post that's dribbling. And those are the dimensions that I don't think we've had in the past that this group really brings. Great effort on the defensive end, but also high IQ where they can pick and choose where to create problems for the other team. And, and we've been a better rebounding team. So we finished off those possessions with rebounding the ball better. And all of those translates into, honestly, more points on the offensive end.
And as far as Charlize talked to Adia after their last game, and she said she saw her play for the national team when they were recruiting Tara, and she knew she was good, but not this good. I mean, how much of a surprise was it for you?
Exactly. I told her mother that. Just I don't know. It's one of the first months she was here, and I've known she was really, really good. I mean, we watched hundreds of hours of her on film and have been all over the world following her. So we've seen a lot, and I think she's deceptive. I just think that's it. I think there were people in the league in power conferences that were, her body is deceiving. It doesn't look like a stellar athlete. Maybe it doesn't, you wonder or question if she's quick enough. You wonder and question if she's a good enough athlete. And I'm just telling you, yes and yes. She's quick enough and she's an unbelievable athlete. And there's very few people that can get by her, one-on-one. And not that she can't get beat, like everybody can get beat. But, again, I think it's beyond athletically, she's as good an athlete as I've been in the gym with. Her IQ and her anticipation and her just understanding of the game makes her, if she does lack something, that makes up for it because she thinks the game faster than you do. And she understands what's happening on the court and she studies the game. And, it's just been so much fun to coach her because, she just does things and says things that you just go, yeah, like, I mean, there's so many examples running through my head, but we'll say, we're not letting this guy catch. And, Charlize will be on her and they'll be like, she won't let the guy catch. It's just an easy thing. And it sounds easy, but normally people can get catches. And then it's her turn and we'll say, Charlize, you're not going to get people. Let's deny Charlize. She's not going to get this catch. And she always gets a catch. I mean, there's just things that she can do that other people in the gym can't. And those are the things that I didn't know. There were just things that, I just didn't know quite how good she was. And I think that's what at least the coaches are seeing is that, yeah, she's every bit, the tools are there, but then there's this whole other feel and IQ to the game that I don't think anybody recognized.
Daniel Schur with the Daily Evergreen. Go ahead, Daniel.
Thank you. Hi, Coach. You addressed earlier that the team is having troubles pulling away late in games. Why is that, and how will you address that going forward?
Hey, can you repeat that? I didn't quite hear that question.
Sorry about that. You addressed earlier that the team is having trouble pulling away late in games at Utah and at Colorado. Why is that, and how will you address that going forward?
Well, I mean, I think it's we gotta remember that we're a young basketball team. I think they're probably two separate games. I think we got a little bit out of rhythm at Utah. Had a great third quarter. They went zone. We kind of got out of rhythm, and again, we haven't seen a lot of zone, so it's just the experience factor. How to stay aggressive and how to stay bouncy and attack a zone with aggressiveness, but without taking too many risks. So, I mean, I just think we need those kinds of games and those kinds of settings to be able to adjust the next time someone does it. We're traveling around. We're 5 or 6 games into the season with 3 brand new guards that have to dominate, guard play and getting us into offense and attacking, a defense. So we're bound to have some hiccups and some bad moments. And the game is very momentum driven. So we're not always going to have the momentum. Yes, we have to manage it. Yes, we have to get it back at times. And I thought we've done a pretty good job of that. Colorado, there's a lot of factors in that I wonder, I think we were a little bit more tired that game. I played, I've got to still figure out ways to play my bench a little bit more, especially in altitude schools. But a 13-point win at Colorado, I don't think we can, I need to nitpick too much. That's some pretty good basketball against a really good basketball team with CU.
And lastly, how is the program and the team responding to all the recognition that Charlize is getting this year?
Well, I think it's just a respect factor to Charlize. I mean, Charlize doesn't respond. She's got a lot of humility to her. She's doesn't beat her chest. She doesn't trash talk. She just is a kid that wants to be good, wants to be coached, is very inquisitive of how to get better and how to and loves the intensity of this level of basketball. I think she's just grooving in it. She just loves, it's so different than what she's used to. I think it's a great challenge to her, but she just approaches the game so well that she gains and has a lot of respect in our gym because of how she handles herself as a competitor, as a teammate, and as a person off the court. She's really well liked. She handles the success pretty awesome. And, I can't think of a better person that can be a representative for our program and be out there on the national scene than Charlize.
All right, Coach, we'll appreciate your time today. Really appreciate it. We'll talk to you on Sunday when your team takes on the Arizona Wildcats. Until then, best of luck preparing this week and go Cougs.
Go Cougs. Thanks, guys.